Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome for today's discussion on Bhagavad Gita on a Sastra Study Marathon. So today we are on day 5 or day 6 on still on introduction. So we are doing a detailed studies on the introduction of Bhagavad Gita. And today is 16th May 2025, Friday. So on this auspicious day, we gathered to continue our discussion, right? So before we start, first of all, I'd like to welcome all the devotees here, Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu, Saki Mataji, Saki, what's your full name?
Saki Champakalata, Prabhu.
Saki Champakalata, Devi Dasi, Mataji, welcome. And Karpia Saras Mataji and also Gandhi Mataji. Thank you for joining us today. So before we start, as usual, our usual ritual before we start is to invoke auspiciousness. Let's put our hand together and we pray to all our preceptors, all the previous acharyas, our spiritual master, previous acharyas, to get their causeless mercy. Okay, what is that causeless mercy means? That means the mercy has no limit, right? And there's no cost. They're just simply merciful to give us the mercy so that we can grasp the understanding of Bhagavad Gita as it is. So as we usually say, close your eyes in your meditation. Try to offer a beautiful garland to Srila Prabhupada, to your spiritual master, to Srila Prabhupada, to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, to Gaura Kishore Das Babaji, to Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and Srila Jagannath Das Babaji. And after that, to all the devotees, Vaishnava devotees, whoever that inspires you, your Siksha Guru, that inspires you in this path of devotional service, offer your pranam, and by offering a very beautiful fragrant flower at their lotus feet, and also you can also put a garland on all your spiritual master. All right. So let's do our invocation prayer now. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manopistam Stapidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swaparandikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uttapadakamlam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha. Sri Rupam Sagarajadam Sahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam. Satvaitam Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam. Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vidamscha. Namahum Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine. Namahum Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine. Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Daitaye Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnanadaine Prabhave Namaha. Madhuryo Jala Premadya Sri Rupanuga Bhaktira Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namasute. Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarini Rupanuga Viruddha Pasidanta Dvanta Harine. Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Padam Bhujayate Namaha. Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate. Gaura Virbhava Bhumestvam Nidasa Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarva Bhauma Sri Jagannatayate Namaha. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Paditanam Pavinibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Om Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gaurati Se Namaha. Pancha Tatvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavadaram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusdevi Pranamami Hari Priye. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivashari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimati Jaya Pataka Swami Niti Namini Namacharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayine Gaura Kata Damadaya Nagaragra Matarine. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So, I'm so happy and excited to see all of you here today. So on a Friday morning, now the season is getting very hot. I believe most of us are suffering from the hot season. Yesterday in Ipoh, I'm not sure about your place, but in Ipoh, what happened? It was so hot. Suddenly there was a huge gush of wind. You know, it was so strong wind until, because I used to go for my japa walk in the park, until the tree was like shaking very violently. Then after that, there was a little drizzle. Drizzle. The drizzle is good enough until it made everything wet, but it was a drizzle. Then after that, the weather became very very soothing and very cool. So it reflects me on Bhagavad Gita. You know, it's what Krishna says, that everything is like just like a passing cloud. You know, say like for instance, Krishna supplies the rain and the shine according to that interval. We do not need to ask for it. And in that Prabhupada's purport, it says, we read, of course, we will read that as we go on in Bhagavad Gita. We do not ask for trouble. We do not ask for, but we ask for happiness, but we don't ask for trouble. All right. Sometimes, you know, when the rain was pouring, you know, we were just thinking why it was raining so badly. Then after that, the shine came. And now we are facing a very extreme hot weather. And even in that extreme hot weather, without we asking, whether we ask, we don't ask, whether we lament, we are happy, we are whatever it is, there was still a huge wind and there was a rain. And the environment became very soothing. So it is not requested. You know, it just come according to that natural, that thing balancing and everything. Similarly, the happiness and distress that every human being that going through in life, it is not something that we can ask for. Like yesterday yesterday we were studying, and in fact last week Friday also we studied this on aprarabdha karma, prarabdha karma, and kutta karma. All right. So all that suffering and all that enjoyment that we are going through in life is because of the fructification of our aprarabdha karma. Right? The fructification. So, prarabdha is the storage. So once the thing fructify, it becomes prarabdha when the things start to grow. And the fruit of that karma we call as kutta karma. So we have no choice. So happiness, we will experience happiness, and then the distress also will come without we asking. Then after the distress situation, the happiness will still come. It is just like changing of the season, the weather season. Like for instance, like autumn, summer. All right. Then for instance, first we start with the summer. Then after that, followed by spring, then autumn. Then we will experience what you call winter. It's just like passing of season. Whether we ask for it, we don't ask for it, everything will just go on. Okay. But Krishna says in Gita, the wise do not lament. You know, because Arjuna was lamenting that he's going to kill his family members, he's going to kill these, he's going to be distressed. The 5 reasons he gave, you know, what is it? Why I do not want to fight? Number 1, because he's afraid of being sinful, killing his own masters. And after that, he feels guilty of killing them, then killing all that relatives who are, some of them are his sons, his nephews, his best friends. How is he going to face their wives? You know, and he says, and the reason that he gave is they're going to destroy the family tradition and all these kind of things. So he was giving lamenting. Then after all lamenting, then Krishna will be explaining that, look here, all these happiness and distress are just will be passing like a raven cloud. It will be just pass through you. Whether you like it or not, everything will just pass through you. All right. The wise lament nor for living and nor for death. The wise lament do not lament for dates nor for living. In other words, in normal English, the intelligent people will never lamentation. That they will never lament. Lament in Tamil, what we call புலம்புறது. Okay, ஒரு ஞானி அறிவாளி புலம்ப மாட்டான். புலம்புறதுக்கு இடமே இல்லை. புலம்பல். ஐயோ இப்படியாச்சே இது நல்லா இருந்துச்சு. சோ அந்த புலம்புறதுக்கு அங்க இடமே இல்லை. ஓகே, அப்ப என்ன சொல்றாரு? ஒரு ஞானி, ஒரு அறிவாளி, ரைட், அவன் இறந்தவனுக்கும் புலம்ப மாட்டான், வாழ்றவனுக்கும் புலம்ப மாட்டான், எந்த சூழ்நிலையிலையும் புலம்ப மாட்டான். வெயில் அடிக்குதுன்னு புலம்ப மாட்டான், என்னடா மழை ஓயாம ஊத்துதுன்னு புலம்ப மாட்டான், என்ன நல்லது எனக்கு வருதுன்னு புலம்ப மாட்டான், எந்த கஷ்டம் வந்தாலும் புலம்ப மாட்டான். Any challenges that we face in life, the wise will never lament. Why? That's when Bhagavad Gita Krishna says that surrender completely unto me. When we surrender fully unto the lotus feet of Krishna, Krishna promises that he will look into your matter. All right, look into your matter, and we have no worries. We have to take that word of Krishna with full faith, because in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is actually giving us assurance. All right, assurance, what they call in Tamil, நம்மளுக்கு என்ன ஆறுதலா உறுதிமொழி. எஸ். சோ நம்மளுக்கு அந்த உறுதிமொழி கொடுக்கிறாரு. பாத்துக்கிறேன், மண் மன்னா பவமாட் பக்து, நீ என்கிட்ட சரணாகதி அடி, you surrender to me, dedicate your life to me, everything you do, I will take care of you. I promise you this. I promise you this. See, in which place where you can hear God is giving promise. What is the verse? Can anyone tell me? 18 point. Man mana bhamat bhakto mat yaji mam namaskuru. Can anyone tell me the verse? 1865. Every one of you must keep that 1865 and you must memorize that verse. 18.65. You write it down somewhere. Write it in a pocket. Keep it in your breast pocket. Carry it with you wherever you go. Keep it in your wallet. Paste it in your car. Paste it on your wall. Paste it everywhere. 1865. Because Krishna says this very clearly. Man mana bhamat bhakto mat yajimam namaskuru mam eva shashi satyam te. Then pratijane priyosime. Then he says man mana, thinking of me. Bhava, just become. Mat bhakta, my devotee, think of me and just become my devotee. Mat yaji, mat means me, mat nane, right? Mat me. Yaji means what? Worship. My worshipper. You know, you worshipper. Mam, unto me. Namaskuru, namaskaram. Namaskuru means namaskaram. That means offer your obeisances, namaskaram. Mam, also unto me. Eva, certainly. Ashiyashi, you will come. You will come. Satyam, truly. Satyam, te, to you. I promise you, to you. Pratijani, I promise. Priya, dear, Asi, you are me and to me. All right. Now let me take for you another commentary from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur on this verse. All right. 1865. Just give me a second. Okay. Okay. How Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is this thing? Absorb your consciousness in me. Become my devotee by dedicating yourself to such practice as hearing about and glorifying my names, forms, qualities, and pastimes. Worship me and offer obeisance to me. Thus, you will certainly attain me. This truth I swear to you, because you are my most dear to me. So, this is the translation by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So, what I am trying to tell you here is this. If we simply surrender unto the lotus feet of Krishna, which is the goal of Bhagavad Gita. Now we are studying Bhagavad Gita. So what is the goal? Okay, now I'm studying certain subject. Okay, what am I going to achieve? What am I going to achieve by studying this Bhagavad Gita? If you really see the verse just now I said, 18.65, is the verse, the core verse that is elaborated in entire Gita. You know? So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, surrender to me. Don't worry about things. Sarva dharman parityaja, mam ekam sharanam raja. Sarva dharman, give up all your religiosity. Give up all your belief system. Give up all your thinking capacity. You know, because we are all conditioned soul. We are all conditioned. In that conditioning, how are we supposed to think? So give it up. All the decision that you make in your life cannot be perfect. Because we have seen in our life that all the decision that we are making all this while will end up in some kind of trouble. It is not a kind, or it's not that something I'm demotivating, but in practical life, I think we should ask Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu about this, a very senior person. You know, just think how many that we have actually achieved, because we condition thing, we only can see according, just like example we read yesterday, how the light goes through a colored glass. I got a glass which is red color, and the light goes through the red color glass, and how the thing project, I only can see red color. That's our conditioning. You know, we cannot see the actual source of the light, the actual color of the light, but because of the reflection, it went through prisma. Then they went through that color, it's showing a different kind of reflection, different kind of color. So in this kind of thing, what decision can we make in life and how we decide? So that's why Krishna says very clearly, your belief system, your ideology, everything is not perfect. But you surrender to him who is a perfect person, and take up that what they call the teachings and the understanding. I mean, the teachings of a perfect person, and by practicing it, you can also become perfect. Even you cannot be fully perfect, at least you are better than the karmi outside. All right. So that's the thing that we have read up to yesterday. So how that this thing, the complete, okay. Okay. So this is what our reading was yesterday. So I just briefly explained to you. And now let's continue our reading. You all can see the screen. Okay. You also can see the screen, huh? Haribol.
And Prabhu.
So we are at this, the complete whole, the personality of Godhead. Okay. So this is what we have got. Okay. So we have read this. In the ultimate issue, the person realization of good is realization is all transcendental features. That means when we understand Krishna, we understand all the transcendental features in his complete form. Okay. The complete whole is not formless. If he's formless, how is he? Okay. The complete whole must have everything within our experience. All right. This is also something that we have read yesterday. The complete whole must have everything within our experience and beyond our experience. Right. So that means all the things that we are experiencing today, all the happiness, distress, or whatever condition that we are going through, all the technology, that everything that we have within our experience, it also exists in spiritual world. All right. Okay. Now let's continue our reading here. The complete whole. The complete whole, the personality of Godhead as immense potency. Okay. The complete whole. Okay, the complete whole means what? The complete. That means the everything is complete. That means complete whole. That means the everything. I mean Krishna or the personality of Godhead as immense is as he has immense potency. Immense potency means what? It has huge potency. Very detailed. Okay. Parasya Shaktir Vividaiva Shruyate. How Krishna is acting in different potencies is also explained in Bhagavad Gita. So, how Krishna is acting in different potencies, it is also explained in Bhagavad Gita. The phenomenal world. Okay, what is a phenomenal world means? That means, or we call it as material world. Sometimes when this is the term that we're going to use. So, the phenomenal world, phenomenal, all right? Okay, world or the material world which we are placed is also complete in itself. Okay, what does that mean? So that means the phenomenal world, phenomenal world, or the world that which we are placed is also complete in itself. It is also complete because the 24 elements which the material universe is a temporary manifestation. Okay, what is the 24 element? Can anyone tell me? Let's see. What is the 24 element of this material universe?
Prabhu, I try la Prabhu, but எனக்கு ஃபுல்லா தெரியல.
Okay.
காற்று, நெருப்பு, நீர், நிலம், ஆகாயம், மைண்ட், ஃபால்ஸ், ஈகோ, இன்டெலிஜென்ஸ், த ஒர்க்கிங் சென்சஸ், அப்புறம் 5 working senses, 5 senses for acquiring knowledge, அப்புறம் ஒன்னு இருக்கு பிரபு.
Say it again. திருப்பி சொல்லுங்க. Number 1, 5 element. காத்து, ஆகாயம், நெருப்பு. Okay, 5 element.
நீர், நிலம், ஆகாயம்.
What do you call that?
Mind, false ego, intelligence.
Okay, that is 3.
5 senses.
Okay.
5 senses for acquiring knowledge. அப்புறம் ஒன்னு தான் பிரபு, எனக்கு சரியா தெரியல. சாரி பிரபு.
It's already 23. But here it says 24. What is that extra one? Number 1 is 5 element. Kaathu, Agayam, Niruppu, Neer, and all this. They call Panjabhutam or Mahabhuta, they call it. Secondly, our body is made of 5 element. Number 2, we have 5 senses, Kannu, Mukku, Vaai, and all this. Then we have 5 knowledge acquiring senses. Then we have 5 what they call working senses. Okay? So, alla மொத்தத்துல எவ்வளவு 20. Okay? Now we have anything subtle, mind, intelligence, ego. 23. ஆனா இன்னொன்னு இங்க 24 எது? What is the 24th? All right? What's the 24th? Can anyone tell me?
The soul.
Now, the soul is not material, Prabhu. Do you get my question? Who don't understand my question? Anyone who don't understand my question? So I believe everyone understand, huh? All right. Now let me ask again. We have the body is made of material element. How many material element we have? We have 5 material element. Okay. Number 2, we have 5 senses. Number 3, we have 5 working senses. Number 4, we have 5 knowledge acquiring senses. Total how many? 20. 5 times 4 is 20. Then we have another 3, mind, intelligence, ego. So total is how many? 23. But here Prabhupada is explaining 24. How is that possible? What is that extra thing? So the question is, what is that extra one? Yes, very good. Pradhana. What is pradhana? The thing that is given to you, use when you require. The element that given to you, but you only use when it's required. Or we call it unmanifested. You only use as required. All right? Just like say now, you have money in your piggy bank. All right? Undilla kaas potu vechirukom. All right? You keep the money there. So that is unmanifested. That means you only break that undil if you need the money. So use when required. But it's given to you. And what is that pradhana, Prabhu?
Unmanifested Mahatattva.
Yeah, what is that? What is that?
3 modes.
That is?
unmanifested.
That is what? What is the three mode?
Goodness, passion, and ignorance.
Very good. The unmanifested means goodness, passion, ignorance. Mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. So this is all combined. It has 24 elements. All right. Everyone get it? Who don't get it? If you get it, just put a thumbs up so I can see that you all are following me. All right. Kesavan got it. Good. All right. Saki Mataji got it. Okay, great. Okay. So that's the thing. But what happened to my every day when I come here only I remember to get a mouse. Suddenly it will work, but it's not working now. Anyway, no problem. Use manual. Okay, it's working. Thank God. All right. So that means the four, which is material universe. Okay, now let's look at this. So now, this phenomenal world is material world, which are placed and is complete in itself because it has 24 elements, of which is the material universe and also the temporary manifestation. But now the question is, hey, we are talking about material universe or we are talking about us? You understand? So what is it says? Krishna's different potency is also explained in Bhagavad Gita. This phenomenal world or world that is phenomena, that means it's like a shadowing world, shadow, niggle, or which is also called as material world, in which we are placed is also complete. It is also complete, right? The word is complete in itself. Why it is complete? Because of the 24 element. 24 element of what? This material universe is temporary manifesting. Now the question is, just now we talk about our human distinct. Then what is the element? Remember that, yes, I was telling, in this material world, there's a covering, right? First start with from false ego, So that's what it meant. So temporary manifest. According to Sankhya philosophy means it's a philosophy of scientific. Sankhya philosophy is scientific. Are completely adjusted. All these things are completely adjusted to produce complete resources, which are necessary for the maintenance and subsistence of this universe. So according to these 24 elements, so these 24 elements, they work together, they somehow or other, it completely adjusted and it produces complete resources, okay, which are necessary for the maintenance and subsistence of this universe. Example, after the human was created, Brahma no longer create more human beings. Somehow or other, the human are creating themselves. They are reproducing themselves. He created the male version and the female version. That's all. Somehow or other, the male child and the female child, somehow or other, they grew up, suddenly they meet, they produce their byproduct. So it's all running automatically by itself. All right. Say, like, for instance, now we are talking about the modern science and technology. When they produce something, example, they produce one particular brand of car. When the car is finished, they have to produce again. They have to go to the factory, they have to get the metal, they have to get everything, they start to produce again and sell again. Finish, they have to testing because it's only one-way ticket. They produce, once finished, it's done. But this universe, which is Krishna created, it has the byproduct by itself. It produces by itself. So after it produces, the older generation will perish, will die. The new generation will go on. So they do byproduct, and the byproduct, and this is somehow or other it's running on rotation. And all these things are the combination of the 24 elements here. There is nothing extraneous, nor there is anything needed. All right? There's anything, there's nothing that you extraneous and nothing needed in extra. These manifestation has its own time fixed. So this manifestation has its own time fixed. What is the time? Kala. And how it fixed? By the energy of the Supreme Whole. By the energy of Supreme Whole. And when its time is complete, this temporary manifestation will be annihilated. When the time is done, when everything is done, the entire creation will be destroyed. Annihilated means destroyed. All right, how the thing happened? by the complete arrangement of the complete. Okay, now the question is, what is that complete whole complete? Okay, let me tell you in a layman term. Okay, now let's look at this example. Now let's look at an example. This, all right. Say for instance, now I have this is a candle. Okay, can you see candle? Okay, then this is the fire in a candle. Okay, then there is lot of other candles. Okay, there's any other, you are coming with so many candles. Can you see this thing? I hope, because it's camouflaging. Can you see all these things? All right. So there is, okay. So what happened? Now I have this master candle. I have this master candle. And I'm the only one having candle, but all of you are coming with your candles. All of you are coming to see me. Kadita Tarna, it's a total blackout. Do you have a fire in the house? Yes, I've got a small bonfire. Can I use that bonfire? Because we need light. So you all coming to me to light up the candle. Okay, you all are coming to me to what? To light up the candle. So then what happened? You are coming to me. So that means from these, you light up this candle, you light up this candle. All of you are coming to light up all the candles getting lighted up, right? So this one fire have created many candles. Then what happened? Okay, so that means the question is like this. Now, after this fire, you use this fire to light up all this candle. Does this fire loses its potency?
No.
அதாவது இந்த கேண்டல் வந்து இந்த கேண்டல் மூலமா நீங்க வந்து இந்த நெருப்பு மூலமா நீங்க மெழுகுத்திரி எடுத்துட்டு வரீங்க. இங்க இந்த நெருப்புல இருந்து இத்தனை மெழுகுத்திரி பத்த வச்சாச்சு. இப்ப பத்த வச்ச வாசி இந்த மெயின் நெருப்புல இதோட தன்மை குறையுமா? Will it reduce? Anyone? Just now I heard someone say something.
No, Prabhu.
No. That means the same potency of fire will still remain as the same potency of fire here also. You got it? Then now the second question. Then from this candle, all right? Now, what do you do? From this candle, you light up further this candle. So now, that means you duplicate this candle into, that means you use this candle to light up more fire. Will this candle lose its potency? No. And this candle also, will it have lesser fire than this? No. Then further, you use then after that, what are you going to do? Then you're going to take this candle, and light up further candles. Will it loses its potency? No. So that means the same fire that available here, the same potency, is also available at all the candle it duplicated. Now from this duplicated candle, when from this candle you take this candle and light up more candles. The same potency in this candle and this candle is also available in this candle. Then from this candle you light up further the same potency in the first fire, the first candle, second candle, the third candle. It is completely fire. It doesn't loses any potency. So the complete whole was created by Krishna himself. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate. Purnashya Purnam Evashya. I forgot the verse. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate. Purnashya Purnam Evashya Purnashya.
Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishya.
Yes, thank you. So like that. So that means it will remain as complete. It remains as complete. That means the same thing remains as complete. All right. But now when the time comes, what happened? Say suddenly the electricity comes. So what do? You blow this candle away. You blow this candle away. So at the time of the thing, annihilation, all these candles are blown away. All these things will blown. right? Everything is blown away. And this candle, the main candle, remain the complete hook. Then the time comes again, it will also produces more candles. In the future, it produces more candle when requires, right? It gives light. And when it's not required, the time of annihilation, all these things still blown away. You understand? Everyone? Do you got the idea? Okay?
Very clear.
Clear, all right. No, because I also had a tough time to understand this. So that's when I start to create this thing. Then I say, oh yeah, it makes sense. So like that. So the annihilated by the complete arrangement of the complete. So who annihilated? The complete arrangement of the complete. So the complete candle who have created all the sub candles, it will just blow them away. And who do that? By this main thing. There is a complete facility. Then secondly, also this, there is a complete facility for the small complete unit. What does that mean? Okay, now let's look at this. So it's here Krishna says, I mean, Prabhupada is mentioning here, he says, there is a complete facility for the small complete unit. So that means what? Even the small complete unit, the complete candle, that candle, just remember the small tiny one, in that complete unit, it has full facility. It has a complete facility. Okay. So like this. Now, in my house, I have a big house. And now the maid is coming to work for me. The maid. So what I do, I take one small room, I give it to her. Now you stay in this room. But when she stays in that room, I give her the full facility. Example, I put for her an aircon. I give her a comfortable bed. I give her attached bathroom. I've given all the facility required for her. All the facilities is available in my room also is given to her room. You got it? So the complete facility is given in this small place. Okay. So the complete facility is there in the small complete unit. And what is that complete facility? The complete facility is called the living entity. Okay, which is the living entity is the one, right? Okay, because the living entity to realize the complete. Okay, because only the living entity only can realize the complete, right? You cannot expect the trees and mountains to realize the complete. So that means in this the small complete unit, it has given the full facility. Like example, namely is one of it is living entities. For what? To realize, the word to is here, to realize the complete and all sorts of incompleteness are experienced due to incomplete knowledge of the complete. Wow. Okay. Now, let me explain this. Okay. Now, let's look at this. So, what is Prabhupada saying here? Okay, it's like this. Now, so there is complete. That means there is complete facility for a small complete unit. In all that complete, in the small unit, it has given the complete facility. All kind of facilities given, namely the living entities. All right, the living entities means all the Jivarasi. Okay, and what? To realize the complete, all right, and all sorts of incompleteness. So to the living entity, to realize the complete thing, complete means Krishna, and incompleteness. The complete and incomplete are experienced. They are experienced. Well, how? Due to incomplete knowledge of the complete. So in other words, what we can see here is like this. So now you see number one, all right, there is a complete facility. In that in the small unit, it has given the full facility. Number one. Okay. And what is that full facility is given? That means all the 24 elements, everything is given, everything is moving around and everything. All right. So namely means is one of it is like called the living entities. Okay. Only the living entities are conscious. They are moving, they are conscious. All right. And why the living entities, what they experience, they realize the completeness. All right. They realize the completeness and also the incompleteness. So the completeness means what? Some realize it's completeness, that means the full this thing. And incompleteness means what? Like why I'm not happy, why I'm frustrated, why something is bothering me. Incomplete. I feel not complete. Something is lacking. So incompleteness. Why? The incompleteness experience. Why we experience the incompleteness? Why? Because we don't have a proper knowledge. We don't have a complete knowledge. We have only perverted knowledge. முழுமையான ஞானம் இல்ல, அறக்குறை ஞானம். அறக்குறை ஞானத்தை வச்சுட்டு எப்படி முழுமையான விஷயத்தை நம்மளுக்கு தெரிய முடியும்? அப்ப நம்மளுக்கு முழுமையான ஞானம் இல்ல, முழுமையான விவரங்கள் இல்ல. அந்த முழுமையான விவரங்கள் இல்லாத வாசி அந்த முழுமையை அடைய முடியாது, புரிஞ்சிக்க முடியாது. அப்ப என்ன இதுல சொல்றாரு? அறக்குறையான ஞானம். அறக்குறையான ஞானத்தை வச்சுக்கிட்டு எப்படி முழுமையான விஷயத்தை நம்ம தெரிஞ்சுக்க முடியும்? You get it? Everyone, are you following me? Please tell me, because this is very confusing. That's why I'm trying my best to explain to you as to my best knowledge. Does it make sense? All right. அறக்குறையா படிச்சுக்கிட்டு எப்படி டாக்டர் ஆக முடியும்? அறக்குறை டாக்டர், right? Okay. So நம்மளுக்கு விவரங்கள் முழுமையா தெரியணும். நம்மளுக்கு முழுமையா தெரிஞ்சாதான் அந்த விஷயத்தை முழுமையா நம்மளுக்கு புரியும். அறக்குறையா தெரிஞ்சா அந்த முழுமையான விஷயத்தை நம்மளுக்கு புரியாது. Yeah. Are you all following me? So that is very important. So it says that we have incompleteness because of incomplete knowledge. Aravekadu ஞானம். அறவேக்காடு ஞானம் of the complete. சரியா? இப்போ வந்து ஒரு உதாரணம், say like for instance you are buying some expensive thing. Example like what? Say like I don't know anything about the phone. ஒரு phone பத்தி எனக்கு தெரியாது. And someone giving me a brand new iPhone, very expensive phone. But only thing what I know how to use, because I don't have complete knowledge, I just make call and WhatsApp, Facebook, Zoom, that's it. I do not use the phone. But the phone got all the features, all the latest gadgets. But because my knowledge is not complete, I only use according to what I know. But if the same phone goes to the expert who knows everything, he will make full use of that phone. So I am investing in that phone for a technology, but I am not utilizing the phone. Okay? So the same thing. So I hope you all understand this. So now, right? So to incomplete knowledge of the complete. So what happened? So what Prabhupada is trying to tell you? The Bhagavad Gita contains the complete knowledge of the Vedic wisdom. What wisdom? Is the Vedic wisdom. What does that mean? So in here, in Bhagavad Gita, number one, Bhagavad Gita is what? It has complete knowledge. Complete knowledge of what? Of the Vedic wisdom. So when we talk about Vedic wisdom means what? There's a 3-4 this thing, what they call Rig Veda, Rig, Yajur, Sama, Atharva, 108 Upanishads. 108 Upanishad, Agamyas, then Agamyas means ritual. Then we have Tantra, Mantra, just imagine, in one Veda divided into 4, millions and millions of verses and commentaries are there. But what Prabhupada is telling, the entire complete knowledge of Vedic wisdom, it is contained in Bhagavad Gita. So when we simply master the Bhagavad Gita, we are considered, we understood lots of things. The complete thing, the 500 over verses that Krishna spoke, he summarized the entire thing. What is that goal of Yajurveda? What is the goal of Rig Veda? What is the goal of Sanghita? What is the goal of Aranyaka? What is the goal of Brahmana? What is the goal of ritual? Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. What is the goal? Everything, the goal, it's already is given, mentioned very nicely in Bhagavad Gita. The complete knowledge of the Vedic wisdom. If not, if you're going to study, you're going to take a lifetime. But everything that has to be known in Bhagavad Gita, it is already given in, completely given in Bhagavad Gita. That is why it takes an Acharya to write this book. Acharya. Because that Acharya who have a self-realized soul, when Prabhupada translated this, see how he could put the word, the complete, incomplete and all this. Right? How nicely he have kept his word. That's why the deep studies really help us to deeply understand the Bhagavad Gita. But what happens if Mayavadi translate this book? We also become confused. Don't know what this is trying to tell. That's why nobody took Bhagavad Gita. Many people think Bhagavad Gita is a book of spiritual religion. No. Bhagavad Gita is a book of science. And what science? Science of self-realization. And what is the science of self-realization? To understand who am I? You born in this world. Who are you actually? Number one. Number two, what are you? The second thing. Number three, where did you come from? Number four, then where will you go? You know, day will come. After the birth certificate, another thing is waiting for us. Death certificate is waiting. After that, where am I going? What is my destination? And that destination after death, there's many. One destination to lower planetary system, into hellish planet. The destination of taking abominable birth in all the 8.4 million species. Or the destination to heavenly planet, which you go there, you enjoy there for 10,000 years. Enjoy with so many apsaras, gandharvas, and drink somarasa. Or you go to Tapaloka, you associate with the rishi, you do tapasya. Or you go to Brahmaloka, you study with him. Or you go to Kailash. Then after Kailash, you break, you go to Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha, so many millions of Vaikunthas are there. Then after that, you go to the border of Vaikuntha, Goloka, in between, Ayodhya. Then you go to Ayodhya, then you enter Goloka. And Goloka, first layer is Jagannath Puri. Second layer is Dwaraka Puri. Then third layer is Madura Puri. Then at last is Vrindavan. And in Vrindavan also got two, Vrindavan and then Govardhan and all these kind of things. So where are you heading? Where is your destination? You should know. So this book explains that how this complicated is this world and how you can make it easy. That's why Krishna says, okay, now you start with Karma Yoga, chapter 3. Then chapter 4, the divine knowledge. Chapter 5, again, another Karma Yoga, acting in Krishna consciousness. Then after that, you talk about Dhyana. You know, you do some gymnastic exercise here and there, Astanga Yoga. Then after that, you do this speculative knowledge. And there Krishna says, according to all the Brahman that you're thinking you want to merge, but I am the Para Brahman. I am the Supreme Brahman. Right? Then after that, he says, all this knowledge are not perfect. Then now, let me tell you, Rajaguhyam, Rajavitya Rajaguhyam. Let me explain to you the supreme, the king of all secrets. Why I'm telling you this? Because you are my dear friend. And you're not envious of me. Right? Then after that, he shows his universal form. And like that, at the end of the day, palm, he put the drop the bomb. He says, Dharmana, Man Manava Bhaktu, surrender only to me. Worship me. Then after that, how the process? Sarva Dharman Parityaja. If you can just follow this instruction, your life will be successful. And how Prabhupada nicely explained in this paragraph. Any questions so far? So far, so good? Okay. So now, 9:52. All right. Shall we just take a short break? 9:52, because the next topic is going to be very interesting. So we are with the next. So 9:52, we just take a 2 minutes break. Dear devotees. All right. Take a short break and we continue. Hare Krishna. Make it fast and just 2 minutes. Okay, let's continue. All right. Now, let's look at this. All Vedic knowledge is infallible. Right? All Vedic knowledge is infallible. That means it is not what they call, it is complete. Okay? And Hindus accept this Vedic knowledge to be complete and infallible. Okay, Hindus accept the Vedic knowledge to be complete and infallible. Okay, what example is this? For example, cow dung is a stool of an animal. Okay, cow dung is a stool of an animal. But according to Smriti or the Vedic injunction, if one touches the stool of an animal, he has to take a bath to purify himself. And not only that, even when we go and pass stool, we go to the washroom toilet, we have to bathe. You know, we cannot simply just wash and come out. We have to bathe after passing stool. That's a Vedic injunction. And even we accidentally step on a sheet or no, on the dog or something like cat or something like that, we have to take a bath. But the Vedic scripture says cow dung is considered purifying agent. Cow dung is purifying agent. One might consider these to be contradictory. One may think, hey, what? I mean, it's like so contradictory. It says that if you touch a stool, you have to bathe. But now you're saying the cow dung, which is the stool of a cow, it is pure. It doesn't make sense, contradictory. But it is accepted because the Vedic injunction. It has to be accepted because the Vedas say so. We have to accept, right? And indeed, by accepting this, one will not commit mistake. So that means when we accept the Vedic injunction in our daily life, we will not commit any mistake. Subsequently, it has been proved that by modern science that cow dung contains antiseptic properties. All right, now we all know, cow dung has antiseptic properties. So the Vedic knowledge is complete because it is above doubts and mistakes. Because the Vedic knowledge is complete because it's above any kind of doubts and mistakes. And Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all Vedic knowledge. Again, Prabhupada is explaining the essence of Vedic knowledge. What is that? It is in Bhagavad Gita. So Vedic knowledge is not a question of research. Okay, it's not a question of research. Vedic knowledge is not something that for you to do research. Our research work is imperfect because we are researching things with imperfect senses. You know, our senses are not perfect, right? We cannot see things like now I need to have these glasses to read. My eyes are not perfect. My nose, how much smell I can distinguish. The ears decibel, how much decibel it can access. So it's imperfect senses. With this imperfectness we have, we cannot do research on this perfect source. So what we have to do is to simply accept perfect knowledge which comes down. We have to simply accept knowledge which comes down, perfect knowledge. And it's stated in Bhagavad Gita by parambara or disciplic succession. All right. So through the parambara disciplic succession, we have to receive the knowledge from the proper source in a disciplic succession, beginning with the Supreme Spiritual Master, who is the Lord himself. So we should understand. Yesterday, I was also listening to this lecture of Prabhupada. Prabhupada was having a debate with one Mayavadi guy. He was giving all kind of things. Then he says, then at one place he said, look here. The person that you are talking to, where his guru came from. No, he's a self-made guru. Then Prabhupada says, bogus. We have to accept the source from the parampara. Yes or not? Even you all have a parampara. Each and every one of us got a parampara. We had a father, grandfather, great-grandfather. We can trace back up to Manu, where we came from. They call it Gotra. According to Gotra, so we know. So we know that where we came from and what is our Gotra. So we are also under the parampara system. The way of life, right? So we are under the Indian parampara, the Chinese parampara, Malay parampara. We all have a parampara. So similarly, the knowledge that comes down through the parampara system, it is the actual knowledge, right? It is not, and how the knowledge comes down? It started from the Supreme Spiritual Master, who is Krishna himself. From him, the parampara, that the knowledge comes down. If you want to accept, if you want to be perfected in this material condition of life, you have to accept teachings from any of these four parampara. The first parampara is called Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya, Sampradaya. Vaishnava, Sampradaya. Second is Rudra, Vaishnava, Sampradaya. Number 3, Kumara, Vaishnava, Sampradaya. Number 4, Sri, Vaishnava, Sampradaya. Right? The Kumara Sampradaya and Rudra Sampradaya somehow or other became isolated. But the most prominent in this material world Kali Yuga now is Sri Vaishnava and Gaudiya Vaishnava. Right? So the Sri Vaishnava, you can go to any Tirupati or any South India temple, they keep a white thing, either they put yellow or red in between. They are all called as a Sri Vaishnava. They also have a Guru Parampara. All right, they accept this from Guru Parampara. And we are called Gaudiya Sampradaya. What does that mean? First, the knowledge started from Krishna through Sabda Pramana. Sabda means sound. Sabda means sound. So Krishna gave knowledge to Brahma through his flute. After he accepted the knowledge, then he initiated his disciples. So Brahma's disciple was Narada. Narada's disciple was Vyasa. And Vyasa's disciple was Madhva. Not Madhava, Madhva. Because M-A-D-H-V-A. Madhava is different, there's an A on top. So we are known as Brahma Madhva. So in Madhvacharya Sampradaya, it came down. And one of the branch was Lord Chaitanya, who accepted this Sampradaya. And once he go there, he went into this Gaudiya. Gaudiya means Bengali. Gaudadesh. Bengali, North Indian, all called Gaudadesh. All right, in geographically, all right, Gaudiya Sampradaya. And in that Gaudiya Sampradaya, Lord Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also, Radha Krishna combined. He came. When Radha Krishna combined and came, what happened? He doesn't come along. He came along with all his confidential associates. All right, first, his Balaram came. Balaram came as Nityananda Prabhu. Then Srimati Radharani came in the form of Gadadhar. Then Srivas. Srivas was a Bhakta Vatsalya, Bhakta Rupa. That means it's a Narada Muni. Then Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita. Advaita Prabhu is Mahavishnu. So all his paraphernalia, when he came down with his complete energy, all the expansion of his energy, when he came down, and who came along with him? All the Sakis and all the Manjaris. Right? That is how we say, like Bhakti Vinod Thakur is a Kamala Manjari. All right? And Rupa Goswami is Rupa Manjari. So all the Manjaris, all the personal associates came down and they start to expand the knowledge. And we are receiving this knowledge in that authorized Parampara system. All right? So other than these 4 Sampradaya, all the other Sampradayas are considered bogus. What is bogus means? Bogus means cheating. All right? Cheating. Or it doesn't have any source. It is just created out of nowhere. All right? Suddenly a guru will appear, do some magic show, he became a god. And suddenly there's another guru who simply use word jugglery like Sadguru. Use his word jugglery, juggle with words. Very nice. The way he speaks is very mesmerizing. He became a guru and he studies Parampara. So all these things which is not through the Parampara system, it is not bona fide or it is not authorized. All right. So we have to receive the knowledge from the proper source. All right. And that proper source is from the disciplic succession. That means the guru disciple. And also it began from the spiritual, which is Lord himself. And how? It handed down in the succession of spiritual masters. Okay, handed down through the spiritual master. So Arjuna, the student who took lesson from Lord Krishna himself, accepts everything that he says without contradicting him. And one is not allowed to accept the portion of Bhagavad Gita and not others. There's another thing that we must understand. Oh, I just take this portion of Bhagavad Gita. I don't accept that portion. No, you cannot. You're not allowed to do that. You have to accept everything. No, we must accept Bhagavad Gita without interpretation. We cannot take it. We must accept Bhagavad Gita without interpreting. All right. In interpretation is like now you see that the former president of India, Radha Krishna, all right, he interpreted Bhagavad Gita. All right. That's a wrong interpretation. And now like Gandhi, he interpreted Bhagavad Gita. Say that I use Bhagavad Gita and create ahimsa. Can you imagine the Bhagavad Gita is spoken during the war and he says he's going to use that for non-violence? How? Doesn't make sense. No wrong interpretation. Without deletion, don't halfway delete and omit things and without own whimsical participation in the matter. Or they're simply giving their own personal commentary. Whimsical participation, simply commenting, oh, Bhagavad Gita like this, so speculative. All this we should be careful. The Gita should be taken as the most perfect presentation of the Vedic knowledge. So the Bhagavad Gita has to be taken as the perfect presentation of the Vedic knowledge. All the Vedic knowledge summarized in few hundred verses is the thing. All right. And Vedic knowledge is received from the transcendental source, and the first word was spoken by Lord himself. The words spoken by the Lord are called Aparusheya. Okay, now this is the word that we should remember. The word spoken by the Lord is called Aparusheya. So what is Aparusheya means? That they are different from what's spoken from the mundane person. That means it's different from the people like we talk from the mundane world, who is infected with 4 defects. All right. So now Prabhupada is explaining that why we are not Aparusheya, because we have defects, and we have 4 defects. So what are those defects? Please underline this statement. The mundane, the first defect is sure to commit mistake. All right. We are sure to commit mistake. All right. There's no one in this world that doesn't make mistake. Number 2, we are invariably illusion. We are sometimes in great illusion, in variety of illusion. Number 3, has the tendency to cheat others. You know, sometimes I say, oh no, I don't cheat anyone. No, I don't cheat. You know, I was just thinking, you know, where do I cheat people? Then suddenly policeman stopped me, and I was having a phone. When I saw the policeman, I dropped the phone down because my phone is silent mode. The thing boop, fell into this thing. And the policeman asked, saya nampak you pakai phone. I said, tak ada. Saya tak bawa phone. Betul lah. I just putting my hand like this. Kepala sakit. Saya just pegang macam ni saja. Ya ke? Bagi me phone number. He drank. Kering, but thank God it's silent mode. You know? Oh, tak ada lah. Letak. Oh, saya ingat you pakai telefon. But what happened? I cheated the police. So can I say, oh, tak ada tuan, memang saya pakai telefon, I have to go to the court. Nowadays, people catch you with phone, you have to go and settle in the court, not with the police. So tendency to cheat is there. And number 4 is limited to imperfect senses. Our senses are not perfect. So with these 4 imperfection, one cannot deliver the perfect information of all pervading knowledge. Okay. Now, any questions so far? Anyone got any comment, any question? All good? Are you all following me? What happened? Put a thumbs up if you are following me.
Good.
I can know that you.
Okay.
Okay, bro. All right. Okay, great. Now let's see this. Vedic knowledge is not imparted to such defective living entities. Okay. The Vedic knowledge is not imparted. That means it's not given to defective living entities. It is not given to the person who are imperfect. But it was imparted unto the heart of Brahma. All right. The Krishna imparted the knowledge unto the heart of Brahma. Who is Brahma? The first created living being. All right. The first created living being. Brahma was the first created. All right. He was created so nicely. And Brahma in his turn disseminated the knowledge to his son and disciple. All right. So disseminated. So that means the Brahma in turn, he imparted and passed the knowledge to his sons and disciple. As he originated, and how? As he originally received it from the Lord. So the Lord is Purnam, all perfect. And there is no possibility of he becoming subjected to laws of material nature. Okay. One should therefore be intelligent enough. We must be intelligent enough to know the Lord is only proprietor of everything. The Lord is the only proprietor of everything. And in the universe, and that is the original creator and the creator of Brahma. In the 11th chapter, now in 11th chapter, Prabhupada says, the Lord is addressed as Prapitamaha. Okay, in the 11th chapter, Krishna was called as Prapitamaha. Okay, so like Brahma is called Pitamaha. Brahma is called Pitamaha or the grandfather, but Krishna is called what? Prapitamaha. That means the creator of the grandfather. Are you all following me? Because this verse, when we go through, it will be quite confusing. Now itself, we try to get some rough idea. So Prapitamaha means he is the one who created the Pitamaha. Okay, the grandfather. And he is the creator of the grandfather. So no one should claim the proprietor of anything. One should accept things assigned by the Lord at his quota for his maintenance. Where we find this? Ishopanishad. Ishavasya idam sarvam. We should only take these for our maintenance according to the quota that given to us. There are many examples, right? There are many examples given on how we can utilize those things which are set aside for us by the Lord. This is also explained in Bhagavad Gita. In the beginning, Arjuna decided that he should not fight in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And this was his decision. Arjuna told the Lord that it was impossible for him to enjoy the kingdom after killing his own kinsmen. What's the point? After killing all his people, and he want to enjoy the kingdom. All right? Say, like, for instance, if you want to have some kind of festival, your birthday party, you need people around you. You need to have your relatives. You don't sing the song, happy birthday to me, and cut the cake. You need to have people to celebrate along with you. But now, what is the point? I kill everybody, and what type of kingdom I'm going to enjoy? All right? So this decision was based on bodily. This decision was based on bodily relationship. All right? Because the bodily relationship is the what that we are all struggling. This is my child. This is my wife. This is my husband. This is my parents. Only bodily association, relation. Right? This association was given to you in this particular body. Just like sometimes when we are traveling by bus. Okay, that day I give an example, or by plane or any public transport. All right? You get into a flight. And that flight, MH123 example, that is the body that given to you. That's the environment was created to you. Maybe your 5 hours flight. For that 5 hours flight, that is that environment was created to you. That is the airplane. And that environment we call like 3 mode of material nature. Okay, either the flight will be very nice, goodness, or the seat that you're going to sit is very troublesome, or say like you're so excited, you go into that flight for the first time, you're so excited, you're more of passion, or you see somebody sit beside you and snoring like mad, or cannot sit straight, keep moving here and there, or a child sit beside you and start crying all the flight. You know how irritating. It is the mode of ignorance. So the environment is the flight. The mode that you're sitting is the 3 mode of material nature. And when you are sitting in that flight, the person beside you, the person in front of you, the person behind you, the stewardess, the captain of the plane, and all the people are your family members and friends. All right? So that thing is created because you are in that flight. The body is the flight. So through that thing, the neighbor is supposed to be sitting. So when you go to the washroom and come back, if someone just put something, can you just take your bag away from my seat? What do you mean your seat? Did you spend millions of dollars to buy the plane? No, you are renting that seat for 5 hours. But when you are renting the seat for 5 hours, you go there and say, please, that is my seat. That's my number, seat number 5. Okay, that is my seat. So my seat means you are taking your this thing, your ownership. Then you go, you see the neighbor, hi, what's your name? I'm this. So that's a bodily, then only that. So once the flight is landed, when everybody leaves, everybody go in different direction. Then you take another connecting flight. You take another flight. That means another new body. Then you get into the plane. There's another 3 mode of nature. Maybe you've got people irritating with you, or people got nice people sit beside you. And there's a new kind of relationship, new friends, new neighbors, we are just moving on. All right. So this is an example. So that means this decision, everything that we make actually in life is only on bodily relationship. But we must understand this bodily relationship will somehow or other disappear one day. Disappear at the time of death. All right. Then we go to the next body. We start all over again. Imagine that in your previous birth, who was your family members? In your previous birth, someone loved you so dearly. Do you remember him or her? In your previous birth, you might have owner of a huge property. Maybe someday you see the property, maybe it might be yours in your previous birth. But your environment totally changed, you have totally forgotten it. And now, with whatever you have, you think it's mine. But one day, it will be also not yours. You go to the next level, you go to the textbook, it's everything starts. So all the decision Arjuna is made because of the bodily decision, relationship. Because he was thinking that The body was himself and the body relationship expansion of his brothers, nephew, brothers-in-law, grandfathers, and so on. Right? So he sees the body himself and he sees all the people are expansion from him. His brothers, nephews, brother-in-law, grandfather, and so on. Right? So in Tamil, I remember this word, there's a எதிர்பார்க்காதே ஏமாற்றப்படும். எதிர்பார்க்காதே ஏமாற்றம். எதிர்பார்க்கிறது என்ன அர்த்தம்? When we are expecting things, expecting true relationship. We are expecting love. We are expecting care. I took care of my children so nicely. You are expecting them to look after you in the future. So all these things are bodily relation. So when we are attached to bodily relation, that is the thing, the core thing that end of the day, it betrays you. We are frustrated. We are depressed. Sometimes when you see the people are so depressed, you go and dig and see what actually gone wrong. Because there's some expectation was not met. And when the expectation is not met, they take it as betrayal. I did all these things, but they have betrayed me. And that betrayal will turn into frustration. And that frustration deepens. You're not in the level of expressing yourself out. That frustration becomes depression. Depressed. That means all the things depressing inside you. And that depression will turn into some lunatism. People go crazy, mad. Right? So that's the thing. Because as I used to tell, like when I was young, I used to go to this old folks home. And I think I remember I told the story. I think you all remember that story. And a Chinese guy, that time was around 90 plus, who is British educated, he was saying, oh, I am this and that. But after talking to him, I said, but why you end up here? Then he just said one thing. I forget to love my children. I thought I give him everything. Give them British education, give them everything. But I didn't love them. But now I end up here. So the caretaker told, that the children and the wife, the whole family hates him a lot. And after that, next week when I went, he was no more. He died. He was that time he was 90 plus. He passed away. I mean, after a month. And you know what the caretaker said? They called up the son and says, the father has passed on. He said, never mind. How much does it cost? Right? How many thousand? I just give. No need to tell me. Just dispose the body, whatever ritual that you want to do, because they are Taoist or Christian, whatever way, I don't care. Just get rid of him. We are not interested. What happened? So this is what happened if we are attached bodily. My wife, my children, my this, my that, and everything. That is the first cause of suffering. And this is scientifically explained in Bhagavad Gita. Actually, are they your relation? Are they this? But find out who are you actually. Right? So that's the thing that is going to be like antidote to your depression and self-awareness, self-realization. So the bodily relationship in Kali Yuga will give you only stress, distress, right? So therefore, he wanted to satisfy this bodily demand. So Bhagavad Gita was spoken by the Lord just to change this view. Just to change this view. At the end, Arjuna decided to fight under the direction of the Lord. When he says, Karishye vachanam tava, I shall act according to your words. So that means imagine the philosophy Krishna spoke to Arjuna to convince him to give up that ideology of bodily relationship. And imagine if we can only practice Bhagavad Gita as our lifestyle, you're going to have a blissful place in this Dukkalayam, this place of suffering and misery. You're going to have an easy way out. That's what Bhagavad Gita speaks on that, right? We will study that also in detail. Like for instance, when I was doing this, my motivational talk last time, all based on Gita. And it was effective, so effective. But of course, now I'm not doing it. In this world, men are not meant to quarrel like cats and dogs. First, we understand we are not this body. Second, our character. So in this world, we are not meant to quarrel like cats and dogs. When you see cats and dogs, how they quarrel? Like that. Yengal area, ulluk varade, that kind of songs, that's one dog will be taking care of this alley. There's another dog will be taking care of that another alley. So that dog accidentally come to this place, they attack and fight, chase them out. That's what is happening. This is my country. This is my life. This is my land. This is my allocated land by the government. You have no right to come in. These kind of things. So when there's any trespassing, they'll start to quarrel like cats and dogs. So we are not supposed to do that. So man must be intelligent enough to realize the importance of human life. He must have the realization, right? The importance of the human life. And then refuse to act like an ordinary animal. Only the animal will be snarling at each other. But in Kali Yuga is the land of animals. You know, like the countries are in dispute, fighting at each other. You know, they come and attack, you know, Pahalgam attack, they come and kill all the tourists. And India reacting by sending plane, and it's like almost a war already. You know, and now they are talking about starting the nuclear war and everything. All right, just for the small piece of land in Kashmir. But now we may say, hey, that is supposed to be our right and this and that. Yes, fair enough. Right? Oh, I feel I got an Indian sentiment. I'm a Hindu sentiment. All right, what is this? But when we have to come above this understanding. That is what Bhagavad Gita is trying to teach us. That we are not a permanent resident in this place. When we are not permanent, but we are working so hard to create permanent asset, permanent name. But it's not that. How many of us remember Tunku Abdul Rahman? When 31st August, Tunku Abdul Rahman, then we remember. How many of us remember Tan Cheng Lock? How many of us remember Tun Sambandhan? Maybe the time of their death or time of anything, then we remember. No? And all this kind of philanthropic work. Like yesterday, I saw that near the YMCA in Ipoh, there's a badminton thing they've there. Badminton Lee Hoi Sing. You know? I was wondering who's that Lee. I've been passing that area so many times, but I just suddenly thought, hey, who is Lee Hoi Sing? Then I just Googled. Or the founder of this KLK, Kuala Lumpur, Kepong Group, KLK. All right? Or the founder of Taiko Plantation. They are so wealthy and the children are still maintaining the wealth and everything. But who remembers? Nobody cares. Right? So, in other words, when we are trying to create some permanent mark in this material world, it is just like you are building a castle at the beach. You know, at the beach. And now you see, it's a low tide. And you go there, you try to build a castle in the sand. But you don't know, it's only a low tide. You see, oh, that's a nice place. The soil is wet. Let me build a castle. So when the high tide comes, the castle remains sometime there. People come and say, who made this beautiful castle? Or just maybe you put a name there, Padita Tarna, just write a name there. Oh, that guy Padita Tarna built a nice castle. Huh? When the high tide comes, push, washed away. And the person who remembers that also, when they come back to this area, they don't even think, hey, there was a castle here before, right? Sand castle. He won't even remember that. So nothing in this world, it is permanent. All right? So we are all trying to create permanentality in this impermanent world. We are, in other words, exchanging our life, working so hard day and night, taking a big risk to accumulate something which is not permanent. We are betting our life for impermanent thing, right? I can have a big car. I can live in a big bungalow. Like my grandfather had a big mansion. You know, I remember when I was young time, I was all chauffeur driven to school. You know, we had a Mercedes. Our family was first to own a Mercedes. I had my own personal driver to take me to school. Such a wealthy family. Where has it all gone? Maybe the Mercedes has become a went to the junkyard. Or maybe that the car has become a taxi, you know, or whatever. Where has it gone? And what happened to the house? Of course, don't talk about the car. The house, what happened? After my grandfather passed away, within a month, before his 16-day prayers, no, yeah, after the 16-day prayers, within a month, disappeared. Infighting, all were taken. So what happened? So we are then imagine the amount of effort that my grandfather have worked to create these kind of things. And he exchanged it with his life. So we as a human being, that's why I said, you know, even in my motivational class, I'll say, don't ever exchange your life for something which is not permanent. Work within your whim. How much can you earn? Keep your lifestyle within that. Don't over endeavor. The more you endeavor, the more you're going to get stuck in this environment. Because I'm saying this because from my experience, but of course I'm not imposing that idea, but I'm just telling what I have went through. Fortune, the house, everything, what happened? But when I think back, the amount of risk I took a flight at one place, I used to go to Japan very often, and somewhere Taiwan to Japan, there's a place, there was an air pocket, the plane fell down, and I was just thinking, what happened if the plane crashed on that day? There's a place by air pocket. It's very common. If you're going to Japan, there's one place the plane will drop. First time I got freaked out, but after that I know, going near Taiwan, then I know, okay, the plane going to drop is an air pocket. It's very, very normal, right? So exchanging our life when there, so much of risk, and all the thing that I worked for, now it is not there, right? So that's why I say we should refuse to act like an ordinary animal. Right? The animal is the one who thinks that he's creating everything permanently. Because a human being should realize the aim of his life. What is the aim of his life? He should remember. He should realize. And this direction is given in all Vedic literature. The Vedic literature is to create, to guide you step by step according to the mode of nature that you are in. Right? If you're in mode of goodness, there's a Puranas in the mode of goodness. If you're in mode of passion, there's a Puranas in mode of passion. If you have mode of ignorance, Purana in the mode of ignorance, like Markandeya Purana. All these are ignorance Purana. But all the studies will still dovetail. End of the day, the goal is Pala Karakaradu. So all the Vedic system, they talk all these things, but end of the day, all dovetail to the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. Right? And the essence. But the thing is, how many Vedas are we going to? So the essence is given in Bhagavad Gita. The real goal of life. What is that real goal of life a person should endeavor? It's given in Bhagavad Gita. Vedic literature is meant for human being, not for animals. Animals can kill other living entity and there's no question of sin. Right? When the tiger can go and kill a pregnant cow, there's no sin. Because your natural cycle, diet. But if a man kills the animal for the satisfaction of his uncontrolled taste, he must be responsible for breaking the law of nature. What does that mean? If a man kills the animal for the satisfaction of his taste, only the 6 inches tongue that creates a lot of trouble. After you swallow below your throat, whether you have taken vegetable or whether you have taken beef, it's still the sin. But just to satisfy the 6 inches tongue, you are killing an animal. See, when every living entity takes a certain birth, it has a quota. Example, when you take a form of a human being, maybe you are given a quota of 80 years. So you have to live within that 80 years. What happens if you commit suicide halfway? You commit suicide age of 40. So until 80, that means the next 40 years, you have to still remain in your subtle body and roam like a ghost. Then after that, you take a next form, you born among the ghost and spirit. 7th generation, no gross body. We will discuss that in detail when you go to Bhagavad Gita. But just I'm giving a synopsis. All right. Then another thing. What happened if the cow should live 20 years? There's a quota in a cow body to live 20 years. But nowadays, the cow, after the thing turned 3 years old, pop, slaughter. Then the cow has to go through so much of suffering and to born again and to finish his quota. So within 20 years, how many times the cow has been killed and born? Chicken. Maybe the chicken should live up to 2 years. I'm not sure how long the chicken will live naturally. Say 2 years. But the chicken is slaughtered every 3 months. From the egg to the mature chicken, 3 months. With all the things grew up. 3 months, pop, slaughter. And the chicken had to born again. And sometimes we take the egg and drink. We take the egg and cook. Before in embryo itself, we kill the chicken. And it is bad karma. So when this thing happens, we have to be responsible for breaking the laws of nature. What is the law of nature? We are checking their transmigration. So we have to suffer the consequences. So in Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly explained that are 3 kinds of activity according to the modes of nature. There are 3 kinds of activity. That is the activities in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. This is called pradhana. Similarly, there are 3 kinds of eatable. The 3 kinds of eatable that is recommended. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, what is that? Eatable in the goodness, passion, and ignorance. And all these clearly described. And if we properly utilize this instruction of Bhagavad Gita, then our whole life will become purified. All right. So our idea is to read Bhagavad Gita is not to achieve success, but to achieve the purification. We want to purify our intelligence. All right. Because in Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Durena hiya varam karma. Can you think about the verse 268, right? I think you used to talk about this quite some time. Is it 268? No. 265. Anyone of you got a Gita in front of you? 263, 65. Can you take this verse? Durena hiya varam karma. Oh, 249, sorry. 249. What he says in 249, Krishna says. Okay, wrong place. Okay. Please remember this verse. 249. 249, what Krishna says? Durena hiya varam karma, buddhi yoga dhananjaya, buddhau sharanam anvicha, krippana pala hetava. Durena. What is Durena? Durama. Duram. Far away. Duram. Far, far away. Durena. Throw away things far away. What? Yeah, avaram karma. Alright? So, Durena. Discard in long distance. Durama. Durama tu kerinjiri. Enathe. Avaram. Avaram means what? Abominable. Karma means activity. So, abominable activity. Throw away far away. Alright? How? By the strength of Krishna conscious. Buddhi yogat. Dhananjaya. That means by acting in Krishna conscious, throw away all your bad karmas. Far away. Then, alright? Then Buddha. Buddhi means intelligent. Buddha means that intelligent. In such consciousness. Buddha, in that consciousness, what do? Sharanam. Full surrender. Anvicha. Alright? Anvicha means strive for. Okay, Kripana. Kripana means miser. Pala hetava. Those desiring for. Okay. Now what Krishna says here, oh Dhananjaya, keep all abominable activity far distant. Keep all your bad things, all abominable, far, far distant. Keep it away, far away. How? By devotional service. Alright? By devotional service. That means when we perform devotional service, when we study Bhagavad Gita, we are actually purifying ourselves. Alright? We are purifying ourselves. So what he says, that's why we properly utilize these instructions, Bhagavad Gita, their whole life will become purified. We become purifying. We're purifying our eyes, purifying our intelligence, purifying our conscience, everything. We are just simply purifying our existence. And after that, Krishna says, in that, after you become purified, your consciousness, your mind, intellect, everything is purified. Then Krishna says, in that consciousness, Buddha, in that consciousness, Sharanam, surrender unto the Lord. Then after that he says, but those who want to enjoy the fruit, those who want to enjoy whatever things that they are earning and everything, they are misers. Misers. Misers in Krippana. Alright, misers. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says very nicely. So that means we are practicing. That means we are all the while we are practicing devotional service for the purification. That's why I said keep a journal in you with you. You are going to the temple, you are coming back frustrated. There is something is not right. You are going to the temple, you don't feel you are purified. Something is not right. You are chanting Hare Krishna, but you are not listening. Something is not right. What is that something which is not right? Put it in a journal. Do your self-analysis. Where are you going wrong? Then rectify it. Right? Rectify it. And that is rectification. I always suggest use from the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. Like what Nanda Devi Mataji was telling, she said, by doing that, she have given up so many other things and she just go on chanting. She chants 64 rounds a day. And she feel guilty looking at Prabhupada. Oh, Prabhupada looking at me, I feel guilty, I didn't chant. From me doing something, I'd rather go and chant. So that is the self-awareness. All right. So our whole life became purified. And in that, then ultimately we'll be able to reach the destination which is beyond this material sky. So in order to achieve this thing, first we have to get purified first. If you are purified, that's when you can go beyond this material sky. Right? So like example, say like once if you're working in a factory or you're working in a very highly hygiene place, like if you're going for a surgery that day, first the doctor have to be clean himself. You know, you have to put the thing, somebody will put the glove and they sterilize everything. They must be fully pure, zero contamination before they can go there. Similarly, if you want to go back to Godhead, you must have zero contamination. The zero contamination, ahankar, ego, and all this kind of lust and everything. So all the five, or we must be zero contamination. When we have a little contamination, we still have to come down for purification. And that process of coming down again is going to take another long period of time. So why not, if possible, in this very birth itself, try to do it. Yes, someone says.
Just 15 minutes. This incredible product eliminates stubborn.
All right. So beyond this material sky. Now, the destination is called Sanatana sky. All right. The destination of beyond the material sky is called Sanatana sky, or the eternal spiritual sky. That means it's eternal and spiritual. Once you go there, you are not going to come back. Yat gatva na nivartante tad dhamma paramang namama. So what does that mean? In this material world, we find that everything is temporary. We find everything is only temporary. Nothing lasts. Even the most expensive watch, Gucci watch or whatever, Rolex, also doesn't last long. Everything is temporary. And it comes into being. First, it comes into being, stays for some time, then it produces some byproduct, it dwindles and then vanishes. What does that mean? Formerly, we are in the womb. We were unmanifested. We were in the womb, or say under construct manufacturing. The car, whatever Mercedes car is under manufacturing. After the manufacture done, it comes into being. All right. Say after we born, then we come. That means that's when our real look is there, because in the stomach we were unmanifested. We cannot be seen. Then we born, we come into being. That's what we call as human being. All right. After we become a human being, what? We stay sometime, maybe what, 80 years, 70 years, right? Then after that, while we are in this world, we produce by some product. I create my own children, produce some byproducts. Then after that, body starts shaking, dwindle, become old. Then vanish. Then we die. Our body will be either burnt or buried or whatever. We vanishes. So that is the law of nature. If you really think about it, we come into being, stay some time, produces some byproduct, then dwindle, then vanish. That is the law of material world. Whatever we use as an example of this body or a piece of fruit or anything, even you can use the example of this body, or you can even talk about trees, plant, whatever. It is the same. But beyond this temporary world, but beyond this place, there is another world. There's another nice place which we have information, which we have that information. The world consists of another nature. The world has another nature. And that nature is called Sanatana, or eternal. Once you go there, that's why in Bhakti Loka, remember we have studied, a devotee doesn't have a past, doesn't have a future. You know, he's only now, because our devotional service is eternity. For eternity, eternal, when you talk about Nirantaram, Nirantaram means what? It doesn't have a starting, it doesn't have an ending. When there is a starting, there will have ending. But eternity means there's nothing started and there's nothing going to end. That's why for a devotee in Bhakti Loka, Bhakti Vinod Thakur said very nicely. I hope you all remember. What he says? There is no past. Example, we are not worried about our past. In our past, we don't know who we are and what we are. Whether we born in a high caste family, low caste family, whether we were formerly a rogue, thief, mad person, business, shrewd, doesn't matter. We have no past. And we have no future. Because in devotional service, in bhakti, everything is so tasty. You wake up in the morning, you do Mangala Arati, then you do your Japa, then you do Tulasi Arati, then you do this, then you go out, and after that you come and listen to Bhagavad Gita. We have a discussion on Bhagavad Gita. Then after that you offer Prashadam, you eat Prashadam. Then after that you go and take your children, come back, then you're going to chant your round, then you're going to think about it. The whole day you are only thinking about Krishna consciousness. So you are satisfied. When you are satisfied, there's nothing you can look upon. Right? Say, like, for instance, now I give you a big feast, right? I give you a big feast, right? The feast got 16 items. All right, I put big talavala ele and put for you all the 16 items. Parimaradu. 16 பொருட்களை வச்சு விருந்து. You saw the thing and you feel so happy and you start to eat. And you eat to your neck. Then after that, I bring a nice gulab jamun or gulfi, ice cream, or I bring some nice pizza. You say you love pizza. I bring a very nice pizza infused with cheese, cheesy pizza. I take the pizza, I take in front of you, there's a lot of cheese. Wow! You smell, wow! But you cannot eat because you're full to your neck. So similarly, when you are satisfied with your life, there's nothing to look upon for the future. So when we are practicing devotional service, we are satisfied. So when tomorrow comes, we're just going to continue what we did today. Wake up in the morning, do Mangala Arati, do our Japa, 16 rounds, 32 rounds, 48 rounds, 64 rounds, you know. Then in between, you go and do whatever chores. Then you come back, you just continue your Japa, you know. So now we start to realize, right, when we start to engage in food devotion, people can not chant 16 rounds. 16 rounds is a minimum standard. I'm so happy to see that a lot of devotees here in this Sangha, on this online Sangha, you know, Sastra group, they are chanting, what, 20, 25, 30. We have few devotees chanting 64 rounds. Vaishnava Krupa Prabhu at a very advanced age chanting 64 rounds. That day there's one Mataji, what's the name? You know, she spoke about, right? Of 40 over years in this thing, 80, no, she's what? 84. Was it 84 or 83? Huh? Suddenly,
84.
84 years old, yes.
Jnanambika.
Sorry?
Jnanambika.
Jnanambika, yes. Jnanam Mataji, yes. At 84, suddenly she inspired to chant 16 rounds. And she said that she's waking up early in the morning. She wants to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and she wants to chant more rounds. Where that inspiration will come from? Realization, knowledge. So like that. So once for a devotee, we are not looking in the future. In the future, what? Come on, in the future, only one thing will happen. You know. So like sometimes people come and say, you know, can you check my astrology or can you this? Oh, I'm so worried about the future. You know, I'm looking for a bright future. I say, hello. You know what is future or not? You know, like sometimes, you know, last time I used to say, I'm not sure what is my future going to look like. I say there's one thing guaranteed in the future. Others are mysterious. But one thing is really guaranteed in the future. What is that? You will die. Death is guaranteed in the future. Now, till the death moment, everything is mysterious. Because we try to see things from our material, imperfect senses. So when we start to practice bhakti, we are not bothered even about death. Some devotees are even excited about it because they know they're just going to come to the transaction period. It's just like a transition. And you just close the eyes and open their in Goloka Vrindavan. No, they can't wait. That means there's no fear for death. Right? Because we want to go to the eternal Sanatan sky. So like that. So there's another nature is eternal. So for devotees, when we are practicing devotional service in this body itself, we have no aspiration, we have no inspiration, we are not so bothered about the future because every single day is very pleasurable. When you are not happy, that's when you start to see. You start to look at some other options. But when you are happy and satisfied, you don't look at any options at all. So the Jiva is also described as Sanatan. All right, but why? Because the Jiva also described as Sanatan, eternal. And the Lord is also described as Sanatan in the 11th chapter. We have an intimate relationship actually with the Lord. So that means we have a very close relationship with the Lord because we are all qualitatively one. Right? That means, am I Krishna? Qualitatively one. How to understand that? You go to the sea, you take the sea water is salty, you take a drop of it and put in your palm, also salty. A drop of sea water and the vast ocean is same. But the quantity is different. You know, this is only a tiny piece and that's a huge ocean. Similarly, we are part and parcel of Krishna. Krishna is Satchit Ananda Vigraha. And we are also Satchit Ananda Vigraha. But our Satchit Ananda Vigraha, we are so minute. We are so tiny. But that is huge. So we are only become glorified when we identify our real nature. Prabhupada was giving a nice lecture yesterday. I was listening. He was talking about the fire and the spark. So when the fire, when you know, sometimes when you blow the fire, you put a charcoal and you blow the thing, there'll be a lot of spark will be flying. So once the spark leaves the fire and goes out, what happened? It loses its fiery kind of things and fall down as a carbon. So when we live our Krishna conscious, we are like that. When we left Krishna, we try to come out to try to be independent. We became carbon. So we take the carbon and put back into the fire. It comes back as fiery, this thing. So we are all qualitatively one, but quantity we are different. So the Sanatan Dhamma or the sky or the Sanatan Supreme and the Sanatan living entities. The whole purpose of Bhagavad Gita is to revive our Sanatan occupation. Right? So the whole purpose, so the whole entire purpose of Bhagavad Gita is to revive. What does revive means? See, I am conscious, then I faint, then the doctor will come and revive me, bring back my consciousness. So that means first I must have that consciousness in order to get back that consciousness. Right? So that's called revival. So the purpose of Bhagavad Gita is to revive our forgotten consciousness. Revive our real occupation, Sanatan, or we have an eternal occupation. We are not only a doctor, being engineer, being whatever job that we do. It is not the real occupation. It's only temporary. But we have some eternal occupation. Revive that. And that is called Sanatana Dharma, which is the eternal occupation of the living entity. We are temporarily engaged. We are only temporarily engaged in these different activities. But of these activities, they can be purified when we give up all the temporary activities and take up the activities prescribed by the Supreme Lord. And that is called our pure life. All right. So we stop here. So we open for questions. Any questions? Please mark your book. On which page is this? The Supreme Lord and his transcendental abode. The Supreme Lord. Okay, it's on page 16. Wow. The Supreme Lord and his transcendental abode. We have another 15 more pages to go. Wow. But we are going on deep studies. So by that, we will relish and understand Bhagavad Gita. Right? So, okay. So we stop here. So thank you all for coming. The next session will be on Monday. Right? So tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, no class. So next, we're going to meet on Monday. And Monday, we're going to discuss on nectar of... Move spotlight. All right? We're going to discuss on nectar of devotion. Okay? So meanwhile, please go through this reading. So next week, Thursday, when we continue with Bhagavad Gita, we have a lot of nourishment and relishment. So we can go quickly. All right? Till then, have a beautiful day. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha paditanam pavinebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. All glories to assembled duty. Hare Krishna. Go Ranga.